Hi, George here for Whiskey Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about an absolutely phenomenal whiskey out of Shoreham, Vermont. Wine enthusiasts even gave it their highest rating to any whiskey ever, a 96. It is Whistlepig Straight Rye Whiskey. It is aged for 10 years. It is 100 proof and 100% rye. Again, this stuff is absolutely awesome. One thing though that I've noticed on the older bottles of the Whistlepig, much like mine, if you take a look at the back, on the bottom there, you'll see that it was imported from Canada. Of course, the current line of Whistlepig is completely produced in Shoreham, Vermont, and the Whistlepig farm. But my assumption as to why on the older bottles the rye was imported is because the product in Vermont wasn't quite ready for consumers. It may not have been aged enough, it may not have been the right rye crop. Something could have gone wrong. They needed to get a product out to the consumer, but they didn't want to get off on the wrong foot with a product that wasn't perfect. So they imported some rye, and they did what they did, and it came out fantastic. Started out on the right foot. Stuff is amazing. Let's jump right into some tasting notes here. On the nose, there's a lot of that classic rye spice. For some reason, every rye whiskey I ever drink, I always get honey. Always honey. Let's see. A lot of oak, vanilla, caramel. Tons and tons of oak. Let's see how it tastes. So, very rich and full-bodied whiskey. A lot of that classic rye spice. There's, of course, I get honey. Every time I drink a rye, it's always honey, as I said. Some caramel. Vanilla. Very faint caramel vanilla. A lot of the smoky oak notes with a classic rye spice. The finish is really, really long, warming, a bit tingly. I get a lot of those rich oak notes on the finish. Some faint vanilla, some more of that spice, but as the spice fades out on the finish, more of the smoky oak takes over. The thing with the finish is it's very, very mouth-watering. You immediately want to take another sip towards the end of the finish. It's incredible whiskey. I would say wine enthusiasts dead on giving it a 96. I would go as far as giving it a 97. It's absolutely amazing whiskey. Highly recommend it for anybody who likes whiskey of any kind. If you've never had a rye whiskey before, you'll probably enjoy it. It's hard not to enjoy whiskey of this quality. Cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday.